Hello, MJ traders and investors. It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth for an MJ Sector check-in. Hope everyone had a great day today. Just as a reminder, I have a broken hand, so bear with me. It's a little bit slower and different format, but make sure to smash the like and subscribe to the channel. It shows me some support. And in today's video, we're going to discuss Tilray stock as the stock of the day in all of the cannabis sector. We'll review some news and events, and then we'll go over the Canadian and the US broader market in the cannabis sector. So Tilray receives the first and only market authorization to offer medical cannabis products in Portugal. So some bullish news that came out for the stock. Stock was leading all US and Canadian MJ in the major tier names, up over 22% on the day. So congrats to the bulls. Sundial Growers announces US 74.5 million registered offering and full utilization of the shelf registration. So this comes after the last a couple of days ago, they came out with another statement. So this is just essentially adding to that. So they're going to be doing $1 at 75 million, so 74.5 million US. And that was much lower than the share price this morning. And that's ultimately where the share price headed, was $1. And there was a lot of Reddit groups and stuff pumping this name, saying that they were going to try to get it to $2. I just did a market update video. You can check that out. I did the broader market and few individual tickers like Apple and Google on the earnings, but I mentioned that AMC and GME are getting smashed today, down about 60 and 40%. And Sundial, if you would have followed those groups again to the end of the earth, you would never have known. You would have not seen this black swan event with Sundial coming out saying dilution, and that hurt investors and traders very, very much today. We also saw Planet 13 raises 69 million, selling units at $7. So some more dilution there. Also found this article here, the US cannabis long squeeze. I highly encourage you check that out, but it is very probable that we see federal declassification and rescheduling and potentially even legalization and recreational here this year or in the next couple of years. So taking a look at Tilray, I've been mentioning this in a while. If you've been following these MJ videos, that EMA 12 is the line in the sand. It is the support to be watching. And if you look at Tilray, we formed a daily high or low right off, you guessed it, EMA 12 on the daily. And now we broke above 2261. We're up big here after hours, up over 6%, almost $25 after hours. So congrats to the bulls. Once again, we should see a huge, huge gap up, but hourly trend is going to be our friend tomorrow. Also taking a look here, just during regular trading hours, this is all coming off the lows down at 1778. So very, very cautious going into tomorrow. We're gapping up to $25. That means that we could drop upwards of 25 to 30%. Wow. Still be looking for an hourly high or low and still in an hourly uptrend. So just be cautious on this name. We could easily pull back to, say, the EMA 12, so $21 or even $20. $20 is a nice round psychological number. It was previous resistance before, which could act as support. So if we do low, the most important is going to be the low of the previous hourly candle. So going into tomorrow, as soon as we lose the low of the previous hourly candle, that's going to be the first sign of weakness. And we'll look to, personally, I'll be trimming positions if that were the case and looking to reload cheaper at least. And a loss of the 5-minute uptrend will be indicative of hourly tops being set. And you can see here we are consolidating on the 5-minute, just looking for a 5-minute higher low, but EMA 12 very, very strong there and has been acting as support for quite some time. Most of the day we did dip below EMA 26, but bulls bought the dip and ultimately closed the day extremely strong, closing almost at the high of the day. And taking a look at the weekly chart here so far. So weekly was a higher high as well, and we don't have any real resistance. We're over 22.95, no real resistance. There's a little bit here at 33. If we zoom into the daily probably paints a better picture for us. So we have some resistance at 24.10, resistance at 25.69, nothing after that till 32 though, really. So once again, congrats to the bulls, all about the hourly uptrend and those hourly higher lows going into tomorrow. Taking a look at the weekly chart here and the 10-week moving average down at 1327. We're above that. We're super bullish on the MACD and the stochastic. So very, very bullish on the weekly. On the moving averages, you can see we're above the 50 weekly moving average and now the 100. We do not have anything defined for the 200 based on limited history on this ticker, but we are above the 100 moving average on the weekly, which is 21.24. So that could be a lot of support there in the 2021 area. When we do top out, look for it to pull back and bounce around 2021. We did have a golden cross and 50 crossing through the 100 here back in December, following through in a huge way. And everything just going parabolic here. And I wanted to highlight on the weekly chart as well that we did have a cross of the 20 and the 50 weekly moving average, which gave us a heads up for this move. And when we were consolidating on the weekly here, we lost the VWAP on the weekly, but we ultimately closed back above it. We tested it again, confirmed support, closed back above it. And that would have provided another nice entry down here at the $8 just about a month ago. So once again, congrats to the bulls there. Taking a look at the rest of the sector, we had APHA, TGOD, RIV, Hexo, ACB, Labs, VFF. Notable movers on the bull list. On the bear list, we had SNDL, not surprising, N, VLNS, and PWR. Xena closed flat at 12 cents. I still got a position in Xena. Got a position in KBEV, Hexo, MSOS. I think that's all my MJ. I might have missed one or two, but moving on for the sake of time. So Hexo up over 13%. CGC I was mentioning to be watching this for a daily daily bull flag, and that's exactly what happened today. Once we broke resistance up at 41.75, that confirmed the daily bull flag. Again, earnings are coming up in a couple of weeks on February 9th, and EMA 12 has just been rock solid. Again, been mentioning this for a while. The more names that held EMA 12, the better, and all names were holding. And look today, major bounces right off of that EMA. ACB saw a strong day today as well, but Hexo got over resistance. Next resistance up at 782. I believe it was up to 737 after hours. Currently showing 720. Cron up about 3.5%. APHA up 3.5%. ACB 3.5%. So CGC, it was up a lot more than that. Actually, it was up to 42 and change. I'm not sure why that's not updating there. But moving on, it's going to be all about the hourly uptrends going into tomorrow. So MSOS, the ETF, was up over 5% today. Huge buying. And we could potentially see a gap up, closed at the high of the day. We held EMA 26. So MJ on the US side was just a little bit weaker. And you can tell that when CGC was pulling back, when US MJ was pulling back, CGC was forming higher highs. And yesterday, US MJ was a little stronger. And we saw a daily pullback in CGC, but it was just a daily bull flag and ended up seeing a huge follow through in both the US and the Canadian sector. But we could see a gap up here on MSOS, and then we're eyeing all-time highs. We could potentially even test all-time high tomorrow. So let me know in the comments below if you're swinging any US MSOs or any Canadian LPs. But again, all about the hourly charts. If we lose the hourly uptrend, then the daily move is likely finished. TAT, I mentioned this in my video as well yesterday. I did a video on it. You can check it out for a little bit more in-depth analysis. But I did mention to be just cautious on that name. Ian, BioHarvest, KBEV down today as well. And on the bull list, we had MMEN, VREO, GRWG, CXXI, CWeb, honorable mentions. BAM had earnings out today. It was a pretty decent earnings. I think they have about 5 million in revenue. They're starting to gain 100% of the operations in Showgrow, California, and that license has been transferred over. So we'll see. Usually BAM runs when the rest of the market is tanking. It kind of does its own thing. It's very bipolar stock in that regard. Cura up over 5%, almost 6% on the day. GTII up over 6%. CL almost 10% on the day, standing out as one of the stronger ones. TrueLeave up almost 5%. So MSOs seeing a decent bounce. TrueLeave, we were watching a daily inside bar that broke bullish. Upper wick of profit taking right at resistance, essentially double topped. So we'll be looking for hourly uptrends to remain intact. And if we lose hourly uptrends, we have a clear hourly uptrend here, and we did have a bearish reversal candle there. So TrueLeave definitely a little bit weaker here on the list of MSOs. So that's going to do it for me today. Thanks again for joining us for another MJ Sector check-in on the pursuit of wealth. We'll see you a little bit later on for a crypto update market video, and we'll see you tomorrow for another daily market recap. Take care. Have a great night, everyone.